Hi, I'm Eddie Price, one of the promoters of Haunted Hickory Paranormal Conference. I'm here with some of our guests. This is Tim Yancey, and this is his wife, Trish. How are y'all doing?
Great. Doing great. Having fun.
Great. So you enjoying the conference?
Absolutely. This is Haunted Hickory's second year doing a convention, and it's by far probably the most fun that we have when we're out doing talks. It's an intimate affair where, you know, everybody, sometimes we just gather around the stage and have a round table discussion or something.
It does. It feels like a family. I mean,
it does.
Like friends.
It does. And you guys have assembled this year what I would consider my paranormal dream team. I mean, you have some of the biggest
really
names.
Impressive.
Yeah, some of the biggest names of our generation are in the building tonight. So
I've gotten to interview them all, and it's been fascinating. Well, for people who might not know yet, let's just start right at the beginning.
Okay.
Tim, what got you into the paranormal?
Well, as a young child, I was, my family and I encountered a haunting that occurred to us. It was very violent and terrifying for us as children, and it's something that happened to us for years. As a result of that, I reached out to the paranormal community for some sort of help with that. And through that, made so many connections with people like George Lutz, who was the basis for the Amityville Horror, and Stephen LeChance, who is the basis for the haunting called the Union Screaming House. And I met investigators and all that along the way. As a result of that, Trish and I once again resurrected a radio show that I do called the Encounters Paranormal Radio Series.
Which is on Sunday night?
Right. It's on Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, and it's on EncountersLive.com.
Okay. Now, you said that you had these experiences as a child. Was it your whole family that had these experiences?
Yeah. I lived with, I guess what you could call an abusive type of family. Dad wasn't the nicest guy in the world. And it was dysfunctional, and I think that was probably the catalyst for this, or the attractant for what happened with us. It was a lot of negative energy in my home. And as a result of that, phenomenon started happening, it seemed like.
Now, you told me before, I think it was primarily centered around you and your brother. Is that right?
At first, yes.
But now, did your parents get involved? Did
Sure.
some things happen to them too?
Sure.
As a family, how did y'all respond to that? Were you just like quiet, like it's the elephant in the room, or did y'all talk about it? Well, how did y'all deal with that as a family?
It was difficult because Dad, you didn't talk to. It was a situation like that where Dad, you didn't talk to him about that kind of stuff for fear of getting your butt kicked. He had other concerns, going fishing or going out or being someplace else. And my mother, we talked with at length about this stuff that was happening. We would state that, something's coming in our room at night or something like that. And it was explained to us that it was imagination, that it was the boogeyman on occasion. My dad took great humor in explaining to me that it was the boogeyman, and the boogeyman comes and punishes bad children who do bad things.
Using the paranormal
That type
as
of
discipline.
thing. Sure.
That's not good parenting.
But yeah, and my mother had experiences as well, and we kind of kept our troubles to ourselves. We really didn't talk much about it. We were confused by it. And it's a process of isolation to kind of divide and conquer, so to speak. It's one of the things that happens.
Now, when this happened when you were a child, there weren't a lot of resources, I don't guess, because, I mean, this community really just started to develop, recently.
And as a young child, I had limited access to what I could get a hold of. I would go to the library, and you could find books about hauntings, so I knew that there was a commonality out there that other people were experiencing this. But I didn't know how to fix it. There was no books on that. It was a very difficult time.
Now, Trish, what about you? How did you get into the paranormal?
This deeply, this guy.
Now, did you have experiences prior?
I have had experiences during my life, but they were all what a lot of people would consider very things from the light, if you will. I had
positive experiences.
Oh, absolutely.
That's wonderful.
I had what I would always call my guardian angel that used to come to my room. I used to see her at night quite frequently, and when But like him, we didn't talk about it very much. And when I was an adult, my sister and I were sitting at a dinner party, and I started relating this story, and I thought everybody would think I was crazy. And my sister across the table said, "Oh my God!" And she had a cat. And
wow.
we gelled on talking about what we had both seen.
That's
that where
amazing.
the lady would come and sit in my room at night, the cat would go and sit in my sister's room at night. And it was something we never discussed until we were in our 20s. So, and then coming in with him and finding the commonality that we had, but coming from other